Who's showing up to protest?
That I would like to find out.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to BS with Joe. So we're continuing with the rant, and now we're talking about protesters.
Yeah, this is episode 5 of the series, in case you're counting,
Yep.
of Privilege Unpacked. Today, we're going to talk about a familiar accusation. Protesters don't have jobs. It's a line that gets thrown around in politics and media, and it's often used to discredit movements, even before addressing their message. But is it true?
I think it's somewhat true.
Okay.
Because I've driven by a couple of protests, and the majority of the protesters I see there are young teenagers who may not have a stable job, and senior citizens who are probably retired and no longer need a job.
So when you hear somebody go by a protest yelling, "Get a job," is it really about thinking that they don't have jobs, or is it just dismantling the protest?
Well, I've never shouted that out whenever I've driven by
I've
a protest.
heard it. I haven't done it myself, but I've heard it.
Yeah. And the Trump ones, you pretty much almost think that they have a job, or they got so much wealth that they don't need a job.
Yeah.
But the left protesters, a lot of them think that they don't have jobs.
It's a stereotype,
It is.
and the image is clear. So it's the lazy, unemployed people with nothing better to do, but actual surveys show something a little bit different. So most modern protest attendees are employed, believe it or not. Many of them are students,
Yeah.
and some of them are retirees. Protests attract people across the socioeconomic spectrum.
Well, let me ask you this: if you're a student, are you employed?
I would say no. That's not a job. It's school.
And if you're retired, you're not employed.
Right.
So yeah, some of the protesters probably are not employed.
But where does the money go? Because Act Blue and other places are funneling money into these protests, but they're not giving it directly to the protesters, unlike that Craigslist post that was fake, where they were offering $26 to $100 a week to go and that was fake. What they are doing is they're providing things like gas masks. They're providing hotel rooms for people from out of town.
Signs,
Yes.
possibly airfare.
Yes, they're providing the structure that's needed for the protest to happen.
So you can get the numbers.
Not paying for the protests themselves. Now, is that still stepping over the line?
I think it is.
I agree.
Because if you're really wanting to protest it, you're not going to say, "Hey, give me money to go to this protest. Give me an airfare. Give me a stay at a motel or hotel. Don't provide me the signs. I'm going to make my own signs." If you truly feel that way,
Should activism be considered a civic duty?
yes, in a way, because if there's something that you want to that you don't like, that you want to have changed, you have to get out there and vote or protest.
Okay,
That's your freedom of speech. So it is your civic duty.
I agree.
Now,
And I fully support the people that are protesting against Trump. I don't agree with them,
I fully
but
support
I
it.
fully support their right to do it.
Yeah, I agree to disagree with them.
Yeah.
And so, and that's why we have these things. Now, when the protests become violent, I do not agree with that.
But it's easy to undermine the legitimacy of a protest if you don't believe that these people have jobs.
It is. Because then you're thinking, oh, they're making money to protest.
Yeah. So that way the message doesn't have to be engaged.
No. But also they're probably growing their base through protests.
Probably.
Because they're like, bring a friend, bring somebody you know, come with us. We're going to go do this cool, fun thing. And then when they're there and somebody, like I've seen Charlie Kirk and other individuals do this at these protests, try to actually have a conversation with some of the protesters, they're always stopped by an organizer, usually, and
They're blocked.
they're blocked. They're told you don't have to answer that.
Right.
He's just
Trolling.
trolling.
Yeah. Even if he's not.
No. And I honestly believe that a lot of people, they're unaware of things. Kind of like the the last episode, we were talking about public opinion on economics.
The optics, yeah.
The optics of it.
Yep.
The opinion of it versus the facts.
Yep. Yeah, so the truth is protesters have always been made up of workers, students, retirees, and yes, some unemployed people.
Right.
But the idea that activism is jobless luxury and ignores the reality of the ordinary American workers have always been there. They're the ones on the streets.
Mm-hmm. Well, and at the same time, to be honest with you, if you are working, it's hard to have the extra time to step away from your family, to step away from your friends and your job to go and protest. It's usually younger individuals or older individuals that have that luxury of time.
Usually.
Yeah.
All right, then. Moving right along.
Yeah. So, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and victimhood and culture and policy
Policy cliffs.
cliffs.